Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Professional Fowler Situation Room. I'm Jonathan Duran, sitting alongside Kieran Ballin. We're back after the weekend. Been a good weekend. A lot of matches to cover here. 4 matches yesterday, 3 today. And let's start with the matches from yesterday. Well, not the most important match. That's the second match from yesterday. But we'll start with Colombia and Greece. I remember I saw a tweet or a post somewhere saying that Brazil is yellow, but not for Brazil, with Colombia scoring 3 goals against. Oh, I know what that is. A little bit of echo there. Get that fixed. But Colombia scoring 3 goals against the Greeks. That was a fun match. Kieran, what were your thoughts from that match?
I really saw that the Greeks were not as strong as they're made out to be. Colombia was dominant throughout the game. You saw even without Falcao, they had that edge about them. You saw even after that first goal, they had an excitement about them. They really wanted to show a good match, and they did. And 3-0. It's a statement match for them going into the next 2 matches, and they set themselves out well to go into the next round of the World Cup, which is really good. Really exciting to see, even without Falcao.
Oh yeah, they scored. They scored that first goal very early in the match, 5 minutes in, and then they were just able to completely pile on the pressure against the Greeks. They tried their best to defend. The Greeks were basically just playing defend and counter, or defend and also defend for most of that match.
Dump and chase, dump and chase.
There you go. Just like the Los Angeles Kings, dump and chase.
Right.
It was interesting with that match, though. So we had a sighting of the great Kostas Mitroglou. He actually showed up for about 15 minutes or so in that
Right.
match.
Yep.
That was unbelievable.
As a Fulham fan, you must have been happy to see that. At least there's
I
an
was
actual player called Kostas.
flabbergasted to see him. That's what I was. I couldn't believe my eyes. Kostas Mitroglou. I thought that he was gonna be, the one player not subbed on like Luis Suarez was in the next match. But it's surprising to see him. Maybe he'll actually be fit for Greece. And the thing is that he's known to be such a prolific scorer. Like the Greeks need him to produce.
Right. I mean, the Greeks do have who is it? Gekas
Yes.
and Samaras, Georgios Samaras, who's been
Right.
their big time scorer. They need someone. They did not produce at all in the game against Colombia, but I think Mitroglou, give him a bit more time. I think he will be one of the stars for Greece in the next 2 games if they play soccer and play actual pass the ball and not just dump and chase like
'Cause I
they
remember.
showed yesterday.
Yeah, I remember there was one point in that match. I think whoever the left back was for Greece was in possession of the ball, and when you have the ball at the back, you're looking up the field to see what's going to happen, right? And
Right.
I saw all the Greeks in a perfect 4-4-2 formation, standing there, and I was waiting for somebody to move. Make a move, and make a run, some kind of run, and I couldn't believe it. They just all stood there. So the Greeks have some work to do to overcome that goal deficit, and they're gonna have a whole bunch of work to do, especially in Group C, especially when they have teams like Ivory Coast and Japan coming up. That was the nightcap from yesterday.
Yeah, that was a great match to watch. I enjoyed that one. We'll talk about that later, though.
Yeah, actually, I still haven't watched that match. I taped it because I was out at the Railhawks Chivas USA match in the U.S. Open Cup that went to a penalty shootout, 3-2 final, and that was just ridiculous in its own right. But speaking of ridiculous, the Uruguay-Costa Rica match.
Let's go, my boys. The CONCACAF Kings. Let's go. We'll call them Kings for today. The U.S. hasn't played yet, but
Yeah,
a 3-1 win. A 3-1 win for Uruguay. Very good. Very good. 3-1 win for Costa Rica. Very good win. I think that a lot of people give a lot of flack to CONCACAF for being, one of the weaker leagues, but you can see that the gap now for soccer it's closing up. And you saw Costa Rica play really positive as soon as they gave up that unfortunate penalty kick. You know.
Yeah, that penalty was the worst part of that game, and they gave it
Right.
up. And of course, Edison Cavani slotted it away in the 24th minute. But then that quick double strike in the second half, Joel Campbell with that shot from distance, and then Duarte with that magnificent close range diving header. Like I
He
remember I
just
was
put his
describing
body
that.
in that.
Like the goal was here, right?
Right. Yeah.
Duarte is here, and he heads it to the far post.
Exactly. And I think it was just amazing that, the physics of it all, just to get his body in position. You try to do what you can, but to actually make it work and make it look like a pretty goal. I think, that really set Costa Rica up, and, it got them excited, on their way to their first win. And, on top of their group, too. Who would have thought after that set of games, Costa Rica's top of the group?
Who would have
It's
thought? Well,
right.
who would have thought that Spain would be last in their group with a -4 goal differential? That's the question right there.
Oh, that's the million-dollar question that everyone's asking. What happened to Spain? That's a question for everyone. I think even the Spanish coach doesn't even know what happened.
I felt so bad for Vicente Del Bosque especially at the end of the match when he went over and he just talked to all of his players. When he rubbed them all in the head and just walked
Right.
away, said, "What else can you really do after that?" Said, "You lost 5-1. What do you say?"
I have no clue as a coach as what to say. I guess it's the hardest match of the group for them, but they
Yeah.
have to rebound pretty quick. Being goals, down 3-0, not down 3 goals on goal differential. They need to find goals somewhere, and I'm sure they will. It's just a matter of not playing Torres and Diego Costa not headbutting anyone, I guess.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Diego Costa, he has to be done for the rest of the group stage. I know that I personally haven't heard anything yet from the fallout from that, but you can't let him get away with that.
No, that's just setting yourself up. You want to set a good precedent going into the later stages, and by not punishing Diego Costa for that headbutt, I think it's a travesty. I think you have to, for the sake of the game and the integrity of the game, you have to.
A travesty, a sham, and a mockery if they don't if they do not penalize that.
But that's
But
FIFA, though. What do you expect?
that's true. That's a very good point. One thing they did get right, the red card for Pereira for Uruguay for that vicious kick at the end of the Uruguay-Costa Rica match. It was just completely uncalled for.
I was watching it on TV live, and I think my leg hurt as soon as I saw that kick go in. And you knew Pereira was going to be in trouble. After that kick, he tried to help up Joel Campbell, but it's too little, too late for them. I think they let the emotions get the better of them, and now Pereira is out for probably the next game, if not more.
I think isn't a red card ban? Isn't that 2 matches, right?
Is it 2 matches? I believe so. Yeah, I don't know if there's a difference between FIFA rules and Premier League rules or what,
Because
but
I
I think
know.
he's gonna be out for a while.
Now, when I think about red cards, I mean, to any Arsenal fans that might be watching, I do apologize to you, but I still will always laugh about the Euros in 2012. The very first match, Wojciech Szczesny gets a red card and is done.
Yeah. Oh boy, but then you got to discuss, if you're talking about Arsenal fans, Koscielny and his frequent yellow red cards that he always gets he's always there at the wrong times, I think.
Him
But
and
that's for another day. I'm sorry,
him,
Arsenal fans, you have to deal with
him and
this.
him and Sergio Ramos, who actually quite frequently earns his red cards.
Right.
But third match of the day from yesterday, England and Italy. We continue the trend of the team that scores first is the one that does not score again. England scores first. Daniel Sturridge with the run to the far post, able to tap it in. Of course, did the ugly dance as they call it, and of course Italy.
England actually tied it up. Italy scored first.
That is true. That's very true. I forgot about that. Italy did score first with I don't want to say it's not Mascherino. Is it Machizio?
Marquisio.
Marquisio. There's two
Yeah,
there's
you a great
two
player.
MACH players, and sometimes I forget which is which. I do
That's all
know that
right.
he scored, and it was a very great air dummy by Andrea Pirlo that set it up. That was poetry in motion. That with the Pirlo with that dummy to set up that goal.
It's the beard, I think. We all need to grow a beard, and then I think the play of Pirlo will happen to all of us. I see you're
Yes.
growing a little bit of it, so I'm
Yes.
starting barely, I guess.
Andrea Pirlo, and of course that free kick at the end of the match that almost put it up to 3-1 after Balotelli's goal. But especially, did you see Joe Hart actually going up to talk to Pirlo after the match to talk about that free kick that he took? It just went up there and fluttered. And if you see it in slow motion, Joe Hart starts moving to his right and gets caught flat-footed as he watches that thing start to knuckle to the left side of the goal. And it was
Right.
only the woodwork that saved him.
I have no clue. I think physics and soccer do not go together, so I'm just gonna put that out there for everyone.
Especially four
Especially,
years ago.
especially with Pirlo too. You never know. He's a free kick, dead ball specialist, and you never know if he's gonna score. I thought that was going in as soon as he hit it. It was an
Speaking
amazing
of
shot.
speaking of 4 years ago, we need to appeal to FIFA for every time that Andrea Pirlo steps up to take a free kick. We need to give him a Jabulani.
I approve. Let's get this going. Maybe Sep will listen to us for once.
Maybe. So, last match of the day from yesterday, Ivory Coast and Japan. This is a match that I haven't been able to watch personally yet. I do know that Keisuke Honda scored first for Japan, and then a quick-fire double for Wilfred Bony and Gervinho for the Ivory Coast. Kieran, talk about this match.
I saw parts of it. I actually headed out for the night, but what I saw was Japan looked really good in the opening 45, and they were competing against a physically stronger Ivory Coast team. But I think the match changed as soon as Drogba came on. The influential Drogba, he came off the bench, and within 100 seconds, it was 2-1 to the Ivory Coast. And I think it's all his setup play and his guidance actually helps the team, I feel, rather than his play. At the age of 36, you can't really expect him to be running up and down the field.
Yeah.
But I think he brings a lot of, inspiration and knowledge to the game that is going to be useful for the Ivory Coast, moving forward. And it was good that they got a 2-1 win over Japan, a very good opponent in Japan, too.
This is the Professional Fowler Situation Room for June 15th, 2014. I'm Jonathan Duran, sitting along with Kieran Ballin, and we're taking your questions here as I get a comment in from Alex, who's watching, who just says, Drogba! The Drogba effect is real.
The
It's
Drogba effect
real.
is real. Yes, it's real. You saw it at Chelsea. You saw it at points at Istanbul with Galatasaray when he was there, and you see it with Ivory Coast now. I think it's just that he's just a big time player, and he shows up to these big time games and tournaments. Everyone that knows him as a player knows that too, and that's
Yeah.
good for the Ivory Coast. You need someone that is experienced. Especially with a lot of the younger players coming into the squad that have not experienced a World Cup or haven't experienced winning in a World Cup. They've been in the past two World Cups. They've been in two really tough groups.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that they take advantage of a little bit of a weaker group, but one where they can assert themselves and play a major role in moving forward and getting out of the group.
You talk about younger players coming in. Wilfred Bony scoring the first goal for the Ivory Coast. I was really excited to see that a young player he's 25 years old, playing for Swansea. He's been
Right.
I know there's been transfer rumors that have swirled around him, but I was just really great to see him to be able to break through on the international stage.
Right, yeah. I think he played in the Netherlands before coming over to Swansea, and he was really a strong player for Vitesse, I believe he played for before coming over to Swansea. And he has the physicality of Drogba and in his younger days. So I think finding a similar player to Drogba helps out a lot of the other players that are used to playing with Drogba in the starting lineup. And it's good that he got a goal too. Confidence-wise, it's good for everyone in the team, not just Bonnie.
So we finished up the matches from Saturday, which included Group C and Group D. And we've got a question in from Alex talking about Group D. Do you think England will be able to make it out of their group? Kieran, I'll let you go first on answering this one.
Whew. Good question here. I'm going to be a bit biased and say that England does get through. I'm going to say they're going to beat Uruguay. I'm not too sure how fit Suarez is going to be. I know he should be able to make the starting lineup, but again, making the starting lineup does not mean that you're going to be match fit. I think England did have a strong game against Italy, but again, they need to be stronger defensively. That goal they gave up to Balotelli really showed that there's gaps in their defense. But scoring-wise, they should be able to. Sturridge is more than capable of scoring. Sterling had the game of his life against Italy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And he can probably draw off that experience and move on from there. Against Costa Rica, I hope England can beat them. But Costa Rica right now, you talk about a team that's in form, and they showed it against Uruguay. So, but I think they will get a result and be able to go through. It's just but I think Italy is going to top the group, no doubt.
See, I agree with you. I remember prior to this, we both picked Uruguay to win this group, followed by England, and of course Costa Rica threw that out the window. But I do
Yeah,
think that England will
thanks.
be able to. Yeah, good job, Costa Rica. But I do think that England will be able to make it out of this group. But you mentioned a lot of good things about this England team. This is a team that's built to attack. You put Wayne Rooney at the top, and you have Raheem Sterling as Sturridge, and what's his name? The other Danny Welbeck. You get them all at the front. Then you put Steven Gerrard in the middle, and then at the back you still have Leighton Baines. This is a team that's attack minded. It's an
Right.
England team that's going out there. They're looking to score a bunch of goals, and you have Joe Hart, who is a good goalkeeper. But at the end of the day, it's basically Joe Hart that's at the back because everybody else wants to go back and attack. I mean, they'll come back and collapse in defense. But Steven Gerrard is not the best defensive midfielder.
I really thought that Lampard was going to make an appearance in the match, especially maybe 70 minutes in, 70, 75 minutes in, just to shore things up, maybe push forward a little bit. He has a bit of a defensive mindset now that he lost his legs at Chelsea, but I think that adding him would have just helped the team calm down a little bit, especially going a goal down, pretty early in the second half.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The right back position, Glenn Johnson was he didn't really cut it for me in this match at all against Italy. Poor runs, a couple poor crosses, but I don't know who would you replace him with. That's the only issue.
Yes, I know they have a whole bunch of talent at left back, but right back, I'm not too sure about England.
Right. And then
Oh,
don't have Wayne Rooney taking corners. I'm just gonna pray that doesn't happen anymore.
oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin with that one.
That corner. I have
The
no clue
corner
how
that wasn't.
what are the physics of it? How do you yeah, right. Just handing it to the other team at that point.
Pretty much. I mean, if you want to put, it's basically like subbing on when Spain subbed on Fernando Torres. It's basically saying, all right, cool, y'all got this one. We're fine. We're checking out.
Right. Exactly. Oh. But I think overall, England had a really good showing. Italy just had that killer instinct with Balotelli. One good chance and he buries it, and there's not much you can do besides the defending. But I think the next two opponents really will play to England's strengths moving forward.
England's next match is against Uruguay on June the 19th. Do you think that the English will be able to be victorious?
I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for England over Uruguay. Again, you lose Maxi Pereira for a decent spell, and I don't know team chemistry-wise how that's going to impact the team and who would you replace him with.
Yeah.
But the health of Suarez, Cavani really didn't show his attacking force against a weaker Costa Rica team, and I think that really hurt Uruguay. Because they really rely on their forwards. Their attack is pretty strong, if you ask me.
All right, we'll move forward to the matches of today. First match, Switzerland and Ecuador. Oh my goodness. That was wire to wire action. That was just like it was almost exciting as the Uruguay Costa Rica match, but of course all the action was packed into the end. Let's just go ahead and jump right to the end. Ecuador coming down the field, attacking with pace, coming down the right side, put the ball into the middle of the box, and I think it was Enter Valencia, who was on the ball in the box. All he has to do is take a shot on goal, and there's a 70% chance that he scores because the defender was down. He only had the goalkeeper in front of him, and he holds onto the ball too long. Switzerland takes it, and in 20 seconds, go down the field and score to win.
This is your classic basketball fast break play, I think. No, but overall, I think that was a play that could have been stopped. I know I saw after he took that shot, he put his hands in his head, and literally the player was like maybe 10 feet away from him. Go
Yeah.
after the ball and tackle him. Make a professional foul. If at that point, see what I did there?
I do. I see what you did there. That's very good.
But honestly, I think that really cost him because you lose one player and then the momentum shifts completely because everyone from Switzerland was bombing forward and position-wise, Ecuador was just out of position, and you saw the guy cut inside in between two defenders and slide over and just shoot the ball off that pass.
Yeah.
What were the defenders thinking? You have to stick to your man, especially with 30 seconds to go in the game.
You talk about fouls. There was actually a very heavy foul on Switzerland in the Ecuador side of the field. He got taken out, and instead of going down and writhing on the ground, said, "I'm going down the field. I'm going to score." The referee played the advantage. He got up. He reattached himself to the ball, put it down the left side, and of course that crosses to the box, and the rest is history. The latest World Cup goal ever scored, and that was scored by the Swiss. And, I got a new favorite player in the World Cup now, Lichtsteiner, the right back for Switzerland. Did you see him blazing a trail on the right side of the field?
He's a very good player. I think he plays for Lazio, and he is a very strong player. When I've seen him play in Europe, and he has that ability. I think he's one of the best crossers of the ball. He's very fast, and that's what you need in your backs. To be able to bomb forward and bomb back, and defend. That's what I only hope for the U.S. going forward. If we can get those type of players, it helps your team out so much. Having wing players essentially that can defend. That's the key thing.
Yeah, Fabian Johnson is going to be the best chance for that. We'll be talking about the USA-Ghana match. We'll preview that a little bit later in this match, but we'll move ahead to our second match of the day, France and Honduras. And you know what? The headline of the match, goal line technology, it works.
Yes, sir, it did. It was a very good call by goal line technology. Better than what the refs would have called it, I guess, had there not been one.
Right.
But, it confirmed it was a goal. It was a game of centimeters, but what's a game without that? But, it's a good thing that the good call was made, and good job for goal line technology for proving that it was right. And making sure that goal line technology did not fail. Because can you imagine what would happen then?
Well, Frank Lampard still wouldn't have that goal. That's basically what would happen.
Right, yeah. I bet he's sitting back home or back in his hotel room just watching that game saying, why now?
Why now? Right. But hopefully he'll be able to take advantage. Hopefully everybody will be able to take advantage as we see goal line technology working well. But, of course, let's talk about the man with the hat trick that could have been for Karim Benzema. He was able to score that first goal off a penalty after Wilson Palacios just ruined everything for Honduras. It was a fun note during the match. I can't remember who was commentating. He was talking about that there was a spell when it seemed that Stoke City just couldn't win a game when he was on the field, and sure enough, he gets himself sent off.
Right. I think there was some antics between him and Paul Pogba for France. One player going down, the other lashing out, and a bit of footsie going on, I guess. But you can't let your emotions get ahead of you, especially in these early games where, it could go down to goal differential, and Honduras could be on the verge of being the second team in, or even the first team. But you saw that France was really dominant in their first game, and it's good to see, after their poor 2010 World Cup showing. They showed that that this World Cup is different. They're ready. They're ready to play. They're ready to go. And good performance by Benzema. Very confident performance at that.
Especially since when the lineups were put out, the same as when Didier Drogba was left off of the starting lineup for the Ivory Coast. Questions about the French team when you had Karim Benzema starting instead of Olivier Giroud. But of course, Benzema steps up and scores a brace for the French.
Right, two very good taken goals, I guess. That penalty was very confident, gave the keeper no chance. The third goal for France, I'm blanking on that, how that one went.
It was a laser from the right side, near angle, put it into the near post.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that was a beautiful goal. I think the setup for that was well played. Valbuena had a pretty good game. Who else was there? Griezmann also had a very strong game. Matuidi's shot off the crossbar was surprising. They had two off the crossbar. They hit the post pretty hard.
They're working on a crossbar hat trick, the French were today, but of course they were able to get the goals through. They put France up 3-0 over Honduras, and our last match of the day, Argentina getting a pair of goals, and of course the own goal, which puts own goal into the scoring lead in the World Cup Golden Boot race. Own goal has 3, and followed by a whole bunch of players, including Karim Benzema, who has 2. But I'm seriously rooting for own goal to win the Golden Boot this year.
What happens? How do you get the own goal? All the people that scored an own goal get this trophy. Fantastic.
Nobody gets it. The entire world wins the Golden Boot.
I'll take a piece of it. I'm fine with that.
I'm entirely fine with that.
Right.
But the headline from the Argentina match is that Lionel Messi finally scores his second World Cup goal in 9 appearances.
The Messi watch is over for the World Cup now, so we're out of random watches now. So
I think so.
Yeah, I guess so. It was a good goal. Well taken. He juked 3 defenders, I believe, made 2 fall into each other, and slotted it off the post. It's typical Messi at Barca. I think he had the Barca shirt underneath, to give him luck.
Yeah, probably. He'll probably do it again the next time they play. He has to do something to help manufacture goals for Argentina. But other headline from that match, Ibisevic scoring for Bosnia and Herzegovina, the man who plied his trade at St. Louis University. It was really cool to see him be able to get that goal.
St. Louis scored a World Cup goal. You can say that, folks. Very good goal for him. I kind of had a feeling that Bosnia was not just going to lay down at 2-0. They had some decent chances, but I think that goal really set the tone heading into the last 10 minutes of the match. And I think it proved that Bosnia is a strong team, and that they're more than capable of fighting back, going down a goal. Although they didn't win this match, it set them up well. Goal differential-wise, that to be only down 1 goal, they can definitely make that up in the next 2 matches.
All right, well, that does it for the matches from the weekend. We'll go ahead and tick over to tomorrow. Group G matches, and the first match of Group F, Germany and Portugal plays at noon, Iran and Nigeria at 3, and of course the headliner, the USA and Ghana round 3. Let's go ahead and work our way up to that. We'll start with the Germany-Portugal match. Personally, with Portugal not knowing how fit Cristiano Ronaldo is right now, you got to go with Germany to win. I'd probably even push it to a 3-0 win for Germany.
I'm hoping for a huge victory from one of these teams. Hopefully Germany would be great, or even a draw would be all right with me. 2 of the strongest teams out definitely in the pool, but you have to see what Cristiano can do. I heard a lot of my friends who were watching the Mexico-Portugal exhibition match saw that without Ronaldo out there, there's no link-up play, and you see a lot of non-soccer from the Portuguese, which is kind of concerning for them, because how much can you rely on Cristiano Ronaldo with tendonitis, and it's a good thing for the other teams to play off of,
Without Ronaldo, it's basically down to Nani just running all up and down the wings and hopefully crossing the ball into the box and say, all right, somebody please be there this time.
Right. Who's gonna be there? Helder Postiga or someone, or Hugo Almeida?
Raul Morales,
Raul
completely
Morales.
out of position to score a
That
header.
beard, that beard though, you got to watch out for that beard, everyone. He's not growing too much hair on the top, but I think it's all ending up on the beard.
Beard Cup 2014.
Beard cut, yeah. Can you imagine that?
Second match of the day, Iran and Nigeria. Nigeria, the last U.S. opponent, and Iran, I personally have a vested stake in. They have Ashkan Dejega, the man who, by himself, tried his best to save my club Fulham from relegation. Of course, he couldn't do it, but I'll be rooting for the Iranians. Who you got, Kieran?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna go with another draw here. I'm gonna be neutral. Iran does have Ashkan Djaga and who else is there? Steven Beitashour from San Jose Earthquakes.
Yep.
So they do have sparks of people that you'll recognize as players. But Nigeria, I think, has a very good talent pool. It's just a matter of them staying organized and compact. We saw them break down defensively, and Iran is more than capable of exploiting that. Any team is in this World Cup. That's why they're in the World Cup.
But
So I'm hoping for a draw between these two.
see,
But
here's the thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing. You're picking a draw. Don't you realize that draws have been banned from this World Cup?
We need something different now. All right, I'm gonna say the ref wins.
Okay, that's fair.
Uh,
Team number 33 at the World Cup.
yes. Referees are what is it? They've got 1 point out of no, they got a couple points, I guess, out of their 8 games right now.
They're
8 games.
responsible. They're responsible for 2 points against Brazil. What else? They got a few other points. They got about 5 points right now.
Yeah, 5 points. Yeah, and so they're still in the running. We're fine with them.
Yeah.
Mark Geiger though, nice job. Nice job.
Mark Geiger. Round of applause for Mark Geiger and the
Repping American
U.S.
soccer very well.
Yes, CONCACAF, and they're using our vanishing spray to mark free kicks. We're changing the world.
Who said Americans don't love soccer and can't do anything to the sport? Yes, we can.
Si se puede. A final match of the day tomorrow, Ghana and the USA. I'll be out at the pub hanging out with Ayo Raleigh. I know that you'll be out in the local area. This is going to be a huge match. Kieran, I'll let you take the wheel first on the Ghana USA match. Oop, technical difficulties going on here. Kieran, you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. So I'll let you take the wheel here for the USA Ghana match. Give me your thoughts. Go ahead and break it down and give me a prediction.
Okay, lineup wise, I think we should see the same lineup that we did against Nigeria. It was a very strong lineup and very confident looking lineup. You saw the two defensive mids, stay back a little bit, even Jones pushing up a little bit, but I think it's a bit more of a calm starting lineup for them as opposed to just doing the diamond with Jones staying back. I think that the U.S. will be able to prevail 2-1. I'm going to give them a good win. Josie gets a goal with the second coming from, I'm going to go with Michael Bradley with the second goal. And, it sets us up well for the first group game, I guess. How about you, Jonathan?
All right. Well, this will be an interesting match to see. I guess you're looking for them to play that same four. I guess it was like a 4-2-2-2 with the two defensive mids, and I don't even know how that worked. He had the two defensive mids.
4-3-2 or 4-3-1-2 maybe. Is it like?
Cause yeah, I don't know. I guess it was a 4-3-1-2, something of that sort. But you're basically looking for them to play the same position that they played against Nigeria tomorrow.
Right, yeah, barring any niggling injuries or anything like that, or anything that happened in training, which we haven't heard anything from. So we're assuming it's a fit squad. So I think that's a very, very good lineup for the U.S. to move forward with.
I think he might go back to the diamond. I'm a proponent of the diamond. I like the diamond. The 4-2-3-1, whatever it was, a 4-2-3-1, I guess it was, did work very well. I was very happy to see how that turned out against Nigeria. But I do like the diamond. I like to have Kyle Beckerman there in the holding mid position. You put Brad Davis on the left wing. You put Bedoya or Graham Zusi on the right. I really liked Bedoya. His pace was great. And
Right.
then, of course, you have Michael Bradley there. I really want to see DeMarcus Beasley as the left back. I know he's old, but it's personally, in my opinion, he's the best left back that we have right now.
Right. No, no, definitely. And his experience defensively is going to help. He tracks back at least with who's it, Timmy Chandler not being able to track back as quickly, and Timmy Chandler does like to bomb forward a little bit, which is fine. But defensively, we need to have people behind the ball and not laboring back. Whereas Beasley's able to do that, and I think that speaks from his experience playing all around different soccer nations, I guess. But I hope the U.S. plays with pace and doesn't try to sit back against Ghana, but because I think that's what creates most of the defensive problems. If we
Yeah.
push forward a little bit better, we're more confident and we're able to take the game to Ghana, and it makes for an exciting game for fans. And I'm hoping for a good win.
Definitely. It would definitely be wire-to-wire action. And I'll agree with you on the score here. 2-1 final. I'd probably give, since I've got Brad Davis starting, I'd probably give him a free kick in the most spectacular manner. And also I'll give Josie Altidore a goal for the United States. That's my pick for the 2-1.
Good, good, good. Okay, Josie watch people. Let's watch Josie and cheer on the U.S. Let's go. We
I
got this.
believe.
I believe.
All right, we're here at the end of the program. Whole bunch of matches coming up tomorrow and coming up for the rest of the week. Kieran, your final thoughts from today's broadcast?
Oh, this was a great weekend of soccer. I love the World Cup. It goes without saying. But right now my nerves are kind of scared about the U.S. game. Always excited about it, but it was a great weekend of soccer. A lot to look forward to. A lot of good things that happened for the sport, and it's good moving forward into the game. And I look forward to the next few games all around in different groups.
You talk about being nervous for tomorrow. I'm feeling fine right now, although I know that as soon as I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to realize what's going to be happening later in that day. And everything is going to ramp up as the day progresses, and I'm entirely ready. I can't wait.
I'm ready too. I'm so excited for this. It's going to be a good atmosphere. And I think the U.S. has a good showing at Brazil. One of the top nations to have fans. I think most fans. I think from any nation is
It's
the United
us,
States. Yeah,
the
it's us.
American
Yeah,
Outlaws, and
yeah. Shout out to the Outlaws.
the only nation behind us are the Australians, believe it or not.
Oh wow, that's a trek.
The
Socceroos.
Australians are the contingency that brought the second most supporter tickets for the World Cup behind the United States.
Wow, but I think U.S. should have a good showing, and it's gonna be a good game to see. It's gonna be a very very interesting match to see moving forward, I guess.
Can't wait. We'll definitely be tweeting along with you guys tomorrow, so follow
Yes,
us
sir.
at ProFowlers on Twitter.com. You can also follow us on WordPress, professionalfowlers.wordpress.com. And we're glad to have you along with us.
Thanks for
Make sure you,
watching, people.
yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, plug in tomorrow to our Twitter feed. We'll be having fun. We hope that you have some fun as well.
Enjoy the games.
Enjoy the games. Let's go USA.
Go go USA.
All right. See you guys later. Have a good one.
All right. See you guys.